Your cat has a sleep routine. You just didn't know it was about you. The cat who presses against your legs every night. The one who watches from the doorway and never comes in. The one who disappears until 3 a.m. and then suddenly appears on your chest. None of that is random. Every sleep choice your cat makes is a precise, legible statement about how safe you make them feel. Most cat owners have noticed it without knowing what to call it. The fact that their cat sleeps the same way, in the same place, night after night. Always pressed against the left leg. Always on the pillow, never under the covers. Always somewhere else entirely. And then suddenly, there at dawn. It feels like habit. It's more than that. A cat's sleep position and sleep location are among the most honest things they communicate, because sleep is the moment when pretense disappears. When the nervous system stops performing and simply responds to what it actually feels. Where your cat chooses to sleep and how they position their body while they do it is their nervous system's unedited answer to one question. How safe is this person to me? 6 sleep types, 6 different answers, and one of them is yours. Type 1, the cat who never enters the bedroom. Let's start with the one that worries owners most, the cat who sleeps somewhere else entirely, who has never, in months or years, spent the night in your room, who seems perfectly content on the sofa or in a spot you've never quite located. Most owners read this as rejection. It usually isn't. Research on feline territory use shows that cats divide their environment into zones with different functions: feeding zones, play zones, observation points, and rest zones. For some cats, the bedroom carries too much sensory information to be restful. Your scent is concentrated there. Your movement during sleep is unpredictable. The sounds you make, breathing, shifting, the rhythm of your sleep, can be stimulating rather than calming for a cat with a higher vigilance baseline. Choosing to sleep elsewhere isn't distance, it's self-regulation. The cat who sleeps in another room and greets you warmly every morning is a cat who has found a way to be completely comfortable in your home, on their own terms. That's not rejection. That's a cat who feels secure enough to not need proximity to feel safe. Type 2, the doorway cat. This one is subtler. The cat who appears in the doorway, who sits or lies just at the threshold, close enough to be aware of you, far enough to maintain their own space. Sometimes they're all night. Sometimes they're when you fall asleep and gone when you wake. Doorways are transitional spaces, points of maximum information. From a doorway, a cat can monitor what's behind them and what's ahead. They have options in both directions. A cat who chooses the doorway is a cat who is orienting towards you while maintaining the ability to respond to anything else. It is, in behavioral terms, a middle position, not the full surrender of sleeping pressed against you, not the full independence of sleeping elsewhere. I want to know you're there. I'm not ready to need nothing else. Many cats who start as doorway cats move closer over months and years as the bond deepens and the certainty grows. If your cat sleeps in your doorway, they're not halfway out, they're halfway in, and they've been moving towards you this whole time. If you just recognized your cat in one of these, this channel is built for exactly that moment of recognition. Subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Type 3, the same room but not touching cat. Your cat sleeps in your room, on the chair in the corner, at the foot of the bed but not on it, on the windowsill, somewhere that keeps you in range but maintains a deliberate distance. This is one of the most common sleep patterns and one of the most misread. What it represents is secure proximity. Research on feline attachment, including the Oregon State University study that found 64% of cats show secure attachment to their owners, describes this behavior as characteristic of securely bonded cats. They don't need to be touching to feel connected. Your presence in the space is enough. The sound of your breathing, the warmth of the room, the knowledge that you're there, all of it registers as safety without requiring physical contact. In human attachment research, this maps onto what's called a secure attachment style, the ability to feel close without needing constant reassurance. Your cat chose your room. They chose to spend the night in the same air as you. That's not indifference to closeness. That's closeness, expressed by an animal who has enough of it to not need to clutch it. Type 4. The pressed against you cat. This is the one most people think of when they imagine a cat who loves their owner. The cat who finds you in bed and presses themselves along your legs, who curves into the space behind your knees, who positions their back against yours and stays there, warm and heavy and completely still, all night. The physical contact is intentional. Research on thermoregulation confirms that pressed contact conserves body heat more efficiently than sleeping nearby, but thermal comfort alone doesn't explain the specificity. These cats don't press against walls. They don't press against furniture. They press against you, because you are the warm thing that also breathes. That also has a heartbeat. That smells like safety accumulated over months and years of daily life together. There is something in that steady contact, in the particular weight of another living creature choosing to spend the night pressed against you, that communicates more clearly than most things your cat will ever do. This is where I want to be. This specific warmth. This specific person. Every night, the same answer. Type 5. The on top of you cat. And then there's this one. The cat who doesn't sleep beside you, who sleeps on you, on your chest, on your stomach, sometimes on your face, in a way that is objectively inconvenient and which you allow anyway, because something about it doesn't feel like something you should move. This is the most vulnerable sleep position a cat can choose. To sleep on top of another living creature, one that moves, breathes, shifts unpredictably, requires a level of trust that overrides every self-protective instinct a cat carries. They are not just near you. They are relying on you to be still. They are sleeping on the assumption that you won't suddenly become a threat. That assumption is the whole thing. A 2022 study on feline sleep behavior and social bonding found that cats who slept in direct physical contact with their owner showed lower overnight cortisol levels than cats who slept in the same room without contact. Not just comfort, measurable physiological calm. Your body, to this cat, is the place where their nervous system finally rests. Type 6. Needing, the oldest memory. Sometimes, in the middle of all of this, pressed against you, or on top of you, or settled at your side, something else happens. Your cat begins to need. That slow, rhythmic pressing of the paws, alternating, deliberate, against your chest, your stomach, your arm. It looks gentle, it feels significant, and it is. Needing originates in the first hours of a cat's life. Newborn kittens need their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It is the very first learned behavior. The first association between action and warmth. The first experience of being completely, unconditionally safe. That neurological imprint doesn't disappear. It stays, stored in the oldest part of the brain, below conscious thought, below language, below everything the adult cat has learned since. And it surfaces in one specific context, when everything in the cat's nervous system has settled into the particular certainty that they are exactly where they should be. Dr. John Bradshaw, whose research on feline social behavior has shaped much of what we now understand about cat attachment, describes needing in adult cats as a deep comfort behavior, activated specifically in contexts of profound security. It doesn't happen with people they merely tolerate. It doesn't happen in places they feel uncertain. It happens here, with you. When your cat needs against you in the dark, they are not confused about where they are. They know exactly where they are. They are with you. And some part of them, older than memory, has recognized in you the same safety they felt at the very beginning of their life. You became, without knowing it, the place their oldest self comes home to. Every night, your cat makes a choice. Not consciously, the way you choose where to sit. Through instinct, through accumulated trust, through the quiet intelligence of a nervous system that knows what safety feels like and moves toward it without hesitation. The cat in the doorway is moving toward you. The cat in the corner of your room chose your room. The cat pressed against your legs is telling you something with their whole body, every single night. And the cat who kneads against your chest in the dark, they went back to the first safe place they ever knew and found it in you. Whatever your cat's sleep style is, it isn't random, it isn't habit. It is the most honest thing they know how to say. And they say it every night. If this changed how you'll feel tonight when your cat settles into their usual spot, the next video is already there.